Why learn Romaji? First, what is Romaji? Romaji is the representation of Japanese sounds using the Western 26-letter alphabet. What is it? What's it for? Japanese writing is made up of 3 different systems: hiragana, katakana, kanji. If you notice, Romaji isn't one of the 3 systems. The symbols commonly used in Japanese writing have little or no meaning to most people in the Western world. Why? Because most people in the West grew up learning the alphabet A to Z. Romaji puts Japanese into a format that most Westerns can read and understand. For example, the symbol La has absolutely no meaning to the vast majority of people living in the United States, but when you attach the Romaji La to it, the character now has a meaning. A person from the West who sees the symbol will recognize it as La. Brilliant, right? Well, yes and no. Pros and cons. The main benefit of learning Romaji is that it's great for beginners. If you have no concept of what hiragana or katakana are, Romaji can be your saving grace. It's probably the fastest way for Westerners to start learning Japanese. It's definitely the way I got started. Romaji won't give you great pronunciation. It comes by being around and learn Japanese native. The method does give you a sense of what Japanese sounds like. Another benefit with Romaji is when learning kanji, there are hundreds of kanji that simply don't know. Not all kanji look like the items and concepts they represent, so once again, Romaji to the rescue. On the other hand, there are very few Japanese people using Romaji. The only time Japanese people use Romaji is when they are trying to communicate with foreigners who are learning Japanese. However, when Japanese people communicate with each other, they use one of 3 writing systems: hiragana, katakana, kanji. Using Romaji also blocks an opportunity to write and use actual Japanese symbols, so it's kind of like learning Japanese in vacuum. Learning the writing system takes time, so having as many chances as possible to see and write Japanese symbols can make a big difference. In essence, learning Romaji is very effective for picking up initial Japanese and for learning new kanji, but danger is Romaji can become your crutch. When you acquire new Japanese, use it so much that you don't need the Romaji anymore. This will help you learn Japanese using Japan. Let's look at this one. Learning katakana, cool trick. The Japanese writing system is an interesting one indeed. Learning hiragana, the most basic Japanese system. Learning katakana, used for loan words or foreign words, and learning kanji are the 3 essentials of being able to read and write. Japanese is perhaps one of the more complex writing systems of modern world. I don't know who is responsible for creating the system, but perhaps it was some ancient Japanese scholar whose flagship class was memory torture. For today, let's focus on a finer point of one of the 3 systems, katakana. Katakana made up of 46 characters: a, I, U, E, O, kaki, kuke, ko, sashi, suse, so, tachi, sute, to, nani, nu, ne, no, ahi, hu, he, ho, mami, mu, me, mo, ya, yu, yo, la, li, lu, le, lo, wa, wo, un, wa, o, un. When I started learning katakana, there were 4 characters that would irk me to no end. They were shi, su, so, and un. Looking at the chart above, you can see why it may have been tough to learn these 4. It's because they look so freaking similar. If you already know your katakana, perhaps you ran into a similar stumbling block. But I learned a little trick that will help you to easily distinguish between shi and su. Shi, someone looking up. Su, someone looking to the left. So, someone looking down. And un, someone looking up. The way I do it is with the stroke. Well, I suppose you can't really do it with these strokes, but if you're reading a stroke, like this part's thicker and this part will sweep, so you know the stroke started from up there. So if the stroke starts from up there, it's su. If the stroke starts from down there, it's shi, because shi goes up. I suppose these ones are sort of sideways. These are ones that are not. Oh well, that's this one's advice. I already knew that the faces thing. I can distinguish from them pretty easily now. The usual katakana suspect. Let's start with characters shi and su, the ones that look like smiley faces. A way you can tell the difference between the 2 is by seeing where the 2 smaller lines are in relation to the longer line. If the 2 smaller lines line up vertically along the left edge of the longer line, the smile part of the smiley face, then it's definitely a shi. Look at the red dots in the katakana character shi. The shorter dashes line up with the longer smiley line along a vertical line on the left side of the character. Okay. Now take a look at the red dots in the character su. Notice the smaller dashes now line up with a longer line along a horizontal line that runs across the top of the character. Cool, right? How about so and un? Well, the exact same rule applies. These are smiley faces with one eye. So you're just seeing whether one smaller line is placed in relation to the longer line. If the single smaller line lines up vertically with the left edge of the long line, smile apart, then the character's on. Look at the red dot, the katakana on. The shorter dash lines up with long smiley, long la 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 la. If the single smiley line lines up horizontally up apart, long line, the smiley part you're looking at. So, now take a look at the red dots in the character. So, notice the smaller dash now lines up with longer line. What the fuck is this? Is that Japanese music? Oh baby. Wait a minute, what song is this? I can't remember that. Wait a minute, let me think. Oh. I can't remember that song. I've heard it before. You know what's cool about this little trick? It can even help you remember the stroke order when writing. The matter of top down, I've shared a bit like Katakana trick video. Yeah. Maybe I'll look at it later. What guide? A guide. Here again, I like a baby. What does des mean? I know it has no real meaning in English, but what does it mean and how do you use it in a sentence? Japanese. This expression is used quite often in conversation, though it might be difficult to use correctly for beginners. It has an explanatory or confirmatory function. The difference between mas, a normal ending of the verb, and des is very subtle. Therefore, it is very hard to translate the nuance. It can be translated as "it is the case that," or "it is the reason that." However, there is no English equivalent. It is the reason that. Okay. Japanese for is or being, and generally comes at the end of a sentence. Des. The most general way to translate is as is am are. For example, watashi wa nihonjin desu. Japanese, nihonjin desu. I Japanese am. Watashi wa nihonjin desu. I saw it with tashi earlier, but the wa was a ha in the hiragana. You are nice. Anata wa yasashi desu. Literally, you are nice. You nice are. You nice are. You are nice. Anata wa. You. Yasashi. Nice and desu are. That is tasty. Sore wa oishii desu. That tasty is. Informally, you can substitute des with da and conjugate the verb into deshita, data, date, etc. Depends on what language. If it's Spanish, period. It's like a period at the end of a sentence, this thing. You can also use the less formal version da. It goes at the end of a statement, just like a period. In Japanese anyway. Wouldn't know if you're talking about different languages. A polite word that comes at the end of a sentence when talking to a superior is of use in formal conversation. Watashi wa nihonjin desu. I Japanese. I am a Japanese. Desu. I am hungry. Suki desu. I like it. Taiku su desu. I'm bored. What does des mean? Someone said that I'm kawaii. Then another replied des. I googled what des mean, but people said it means to be. So is that dude saying that himself is kawaii instead? P.S. I think the dude who said des was troller. Des cannot translate to Western language. It's copula. Des saying people are just ignorant, weeaboo. They don't know this word's meaning. By the way, des, meme, mimi, origin is Saki from Rose and Maiden. Kawaii, cute, precious. Des, verb to be, is amar. Saying des twice in a row makes no sense. Japanese has copulas that would most often be translated as one of the so-called be verbs of English. Japanese copula has many forms. The word da and des are used to predicate sentences, while na and de are particles used within sentences to modify or connect. Japanese sentences with copulas most often equate one thing with another, that is, they are of the form A is B. Examples. Okay, watashi wa. See, there's the ha I was talking about. Ha. So that does mean wa. Watashi wa gakusei da. Gakusei da. I am a student. I topic student copula. Topic. I. Alright, so I. And there's the topic. Wait a minute. I student copula. Alright, that's the copula, that's the topic. Wait, what's it talking about? I topic. Is the ha the topic? Watashi. Watashi is why. The ha is the topic. That part is the student. And da is the copula. Okay. Kole ha pe pen des. Kore wa pen des. This is a pen, alright. Kore, this. Topic is ha. Pen, pen. And then des. Copula, polite. So that's a topic. Ha is a topic. The difference between da and des appears simple. For instance, des is more formal and polite than da. Thus, many sentences, such as the ones below, are almost identical in meaning and differ in the speaker's politeness to the addressee. In nuance of how assured the person is of their statement, however, des may never come before the end of a sentence, and da is usually used exclusively to delineate subordinate clauses. In addition, da is always declarative, never interrogative. Ale ha ho hoteluda. That's a hotel. So ale is that, wa is the topic, hotelu is hotel, and da is copula. Topic. Wa, topic. Japanese ale ha ho hotelu des. Yeah. Japanese sentences may be predicated with copulas or with verbs. However, des may not always be a predicate. In some cases, it only functions to make a sentence predicated with a stative verb, more polite. However, da always functions as a predicate, so it cannot be combined with a stative verb because sentences need only one predicate. See the examples below. Kono bi ru ha ruha. Oh wait. Kono biru. I don't know what that means. How ishi. Kono biru wa. I said ha, so that means wa most of the time. If it's in the middle, like that means wa. It's a topic. It's biru. Wait a minute. Kono biru. Yeah, biru is beer, that part. So konu is this. Kono. No, wait, what's that? Oh yes, beer. Biru. Kono. Kono means this. Alright. Kono biru wa oishi. What was I saying? Oishi, I think I said. Oishi it means. Okay. Beer is delicious. This beer topic be tasty. Topic's the wa. Kono biru wa oishi des. This beer is good. Beer topic be tasty, polite. Kono biru wa oishi da. This is unacceptable because da may only serve as a predicate. There are several theories as to the origin of des. One is that it is a shortened form of der limas, which is a polite form of he. That's not he, it looked a bit like. So he cut off like that, it looked a bit like he, because he is that thing. That's a half of a he, isn't it? I didn't notice that before, that tear's half of he. Is there a he anywhere to show you? Probably not. Yeah, half of he. Alu. Der alu. In general, both forms are used only writing in more formal situations. Another form, der gozaimasu, which is the more formal version of der mas. In the etymological sense, a conjugation of der gozaru and an honorific suffix mas. Mas is also used in some situations and very polite. Note that der alu and der gozaru are considered to be compounds of a particle der, and the existential verbs alu and gozaru. Des may be pronounced sus. In colloquial speech, the copula is subject to dialectal variations throughout Japan, resulting in forms such as ya in Kansai and Jiaja. Wait a minute, is that telling me what it is? Ja. Okay, ja. That's ya, that's ja. In Hiroshima. Oh, Hiroshima, I thought that said hiragana. Japanese also has two verbs corresponding to English, to be, aru and iru. They are not copulars, but existential verbs. Aru is used for inanimate objects, including plants, whereas iru is used for animate things like people, animals, robots, though there are exceptions to this generalization. Hon, yep, that's hon, ha. Honwa, it says wa over there. Honwa tebu, yeah, teburu, ni aru. Honwa teburu ni aru. The book is on a table. Kimu-san wa koko ni lu. So Kimu's a name, or a person, Kimu-san wa, and that's the topic. Koko ni ilu. How the fuck do I know if you put them together like that? Ni, I think it means ni, but no, it means ni ilu. It's so awkward the way they dump it all together. I suppose you just have to get used to it to know when you say ilu and when you say ni. Kim is here. Kimu. Oh, I thought it was Kimu, but no, it's Kim. Japanese people, when learning English, usually drop the auxiliary verbs be and do due to believing incorrectly that be or be is a semantically empty copula equivalent to des and da. Here's a Chinese part that says about Japanese. The history of the Chinese copula that is a controversial subject. Before the Han Dynasty, the character serves as demonstrative pronoun, meaning this usage survives in some idioms and proverbs as well as in Japanese. Right, on to the next one. Wa. Wa. Even that means ha. Wa, probably. The topic. Oh, I learned it's a topic, see? Wa. Stuck in the middle there. Der alu. There we got wa again. I recognise that one. I can't remember what it is. I think that one is name. Possibly. Might be name. That looks a bit different. It might be. Yeah, name, I was right. That thing, shit, I can't remember what it means. Shame. Ha, wa, mas, or mada, nai, madanai. Name wa madanai. I am a cat, as yet I have no name. Okay, next. PDF. Oh, it doesn't exist. Kanzai, I don't know if I want to bookmark it. A little sign, Iwashi or and something there, and Benakan, Kanzai Ben, you must eat sardines. What does des and imas mean in Japanese? I'm just learning Japanese and my learning tools, videos, Rosetta Stone, books, etc. end phrases with these words, but don't explain why or what they mean or what the difference is. Also, if anyone give me basic Japanese sentence structure, I'd appreciate it. Des is a spoken period, similar but not equal to is. Tomoko des, I am Tomoko. Imas is the polite word of a polite form of eru, to get. Imas, eru, to get. Akai kuruma wo imas, she gets the red car. Ah, I remember Akai means red. Well, see, it doesn't register. I read Akai, but I don't think red. But then I remember, oh yeah, it is red. Kuruma wo imas. If you mean imas, is the polite form of iru, to be. Koen ni imas, I am in the park. Basic structure of a sentence is tricky, but the verb is always at the end. Subject ga, direct object o, wo. Verb, topic wa, subject ga, verb. Topic wa, subject ga, blah blah, and so on. It's not imas, it's imas. Imas is the polite form of iru, which means to be or exist for living things like humans. You don't use imas for things like books, tables, etc. You use arimas instead, which is a polite form of aru. Watashi wo koko ni imasu. I am here. Koko means here. Watashi wa I here. I ni imasu. Am. So I here am. Watashi I wa particle for topic. So watashi I, the wa is the topic. Particle before the topic. Koko is here, and ni particle, and the imas is whatever he said it was. Imas means to exist, for people to exist. Des is a polite copula. It's harder to explain than imas. Lena des, I'm Lena. Kare wa jugo sai des. He's 15 years old. Kare hi wa, topic particle. Jugo, 15. Oh yeah, that's right, Jugo. Or maybe if I read it in, you know, in a kanji of it, I'd know the kanji, a plus sign and the 5 sign, I'd know it was 15 then. I suppose that's the other problem with Romaji, because you read this, what the fuck is it? Whereas if you stick with hiragana, you can start to get it. Sai years old, etc. You should search on Google or something to find out more, or look at example sentences to learn more. Use this site, it's great and it helps with any questions you have. Did I have this site? No, I'll bookmark it. It's good to go through the Yahoo Answers sometimes to give you sites that I can add to the ever-growing list.